Welcome to the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission's training. This session will focus on Compact Article 5, Placement and Attendance. It will explore the background of the Interstate Compact, how it assists military-connected students who transfer during their senior year, and how schools, through the Compact, can accommodate these students to ensure they graduate on time. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, there are more than 1.2 million service members on active duty. Of those, 52.6% are married and 51% are below the age of 25. This translates to 1.65 million military-connected students, with more than half of those between the ages of 5 to 18 years old. A majority, 76% of military-connected students, are enrolled in public school systems across the United States. 10% attend private schools. 8% are enrolled in Department of Defense Education Activity or DoDEA schools, and 6% are in homeschool programs. We will explore how these facts and figures relate to the MIC3 in a moment, but first, what is an interstate compact? Interstate compacts predate the U.S. Constitution and are contractual agreements between the states enacted through legislative means to resolve a dispute, study a problem, or create an ongoing administrative mechanism for managing interstate agreements. It allows state governments to work collaboratively and jointly, problem-solve common concerns and issues without federal intervention or regulation. Two things to note specific to the MIC3. First, rules adopted by the Commission have the force and effect of statutory law and supersede any inconsistent state laws. Second, the Commission has the authority to enforce the Compact and its rules upon its member states. This grants MIC3 the authority to implement consistent education practices when working in partnership with schools and military families. The Compact applies to military members on active duty, as well as National Guard and Reserve on Title X orders. Members of the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration and U.S. Public Health Services are also covered by the Compact. In addition to these groups, members or veterans who are medically discharged or retire are also covered for a period of 1 year following their discharge or retirement. The children of members who perish while on active duty are also covered by the Compact for a period of 1 year following the service member's death. The Compact applies to military-connected students in public schools, and through a Memorandum of Understanding, children who attend DoDEA schools are also covered. Finally, the Compact applies to students in kindergarten through 12th grade. The Compact focuses on key educational transition issues and seeks to inform school systems of the unique educational challenges transitioning military children face. On average, a military-connected child will transition 6 to 9 times during their educational career. Because of this, the Compact allows for the uniform treatment of military students alongside their civilian peers. The Compact does not advocate for preferential treatment. Instead, it seeks to level the playing field for military-connected students. It does not impact the state's or local education authority regarding curriculum. As stated previously, MIC3 only applies to kindergarten through 12th grade, so preschool and provisional or pre-kindergarten programs are not covered under the Compact. The Compact does not apply to private, parochial, homeschool, or international schools. Why is the Compact important if it does not cover every educational issue that a transitioning student might encounter? Again, it highlights the unique education challenges faced by military children. The Compact provides districts and schools flexibility to make accommodations, and it allows states, through the Compact commissioners, to converse and facilitate cases. Prior to the Compact, this mechanism of support for transitioning military families did not exist. But through the Compact and the role of the Compact Commissioner as school liaison, these families now have support and a process to resolve education-related issues. Let us examine Compact Article 5, Placement and Attendance. The provisions of Article 5 are intended to promote flexibility and cooperation between the educational system, parents, and the student in order to achieve educational success for the student. there are 4 key provisions addressed by Article 5. This session, we will review the 4th and final provision of this article, absence, as related to deployment activities. Article 5, as outlined in Compact Rules, Chapter 500, Section 5.105, absence, as related to deployment activities, applies to a student whose parent or legal guardian is an active duty member of the Uniformed Services as defined by the Compact and has been called to duty for, is on leave from, or immediately returned from deployment to a combat zone or combat support posting. This provision allows the local education authority, or LEA, superintendent, or head of the school the flexibility to grant additional excused absences to a student so they can visit with their parent or legal guardian prior to or following a deployment. The Compact defines the deployment window as 1 month prior to and 6 months after return. A current list of combat zones is provided on the Internal Revenue Service's website. This provision requests the school make a reasonable accommodation to these students, but provides the LEA, superintendent, or head of the school the discretion and flexibility to determine when the allowance can be made for additional excused absences without detriment to the student. For example, it may not be in the student's best interest to be out of the classroom during state testing periods, or if the student already has excessive absences. This provision of Article 5 regarding absences as related to deployment activities is important to the emotional well-being of military-connected students. Providing additional excused absences to a student and allowing them time with their family member prior to a deployment provides them with the opportunity to make memories should the service member become gravely injured or perish during their deployment. Also, providing time to students once a family member returns from deployment allows the family time to reconnect and reestablish once familiar routines. If you would like additional information about Compact Article 5, placement and attendance, please contact your local school liaison or your state's Compact Commissioner. Their contact information can be found on the Commission's website at www.mic3.net. Simply click on the interactive map to select your state. Thank you for attending the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission training on Compact Article 5, Placement and Attendance.